Drawings by a child. We were kicked out to work without any lists, counted off at the gates by fives. We were always lined up in groups of fives, as not all the guards were fluent in the multiplication table. Any arithmetic operation performed on the big cold, especially on live material, is a serious matter. A prisoner's patience can run low suddenly, and the authorities kept that in mind. Today we had an easy work, a privileged one, cutting firewood on a circular saw. The saw spun in the sawmill, making a gentle clicking sound. We'd load a huge log onto the sawmill and slowly slide it toward the saw. The saw squealed and growled furiously. It, like us, disliked working in the north. But we kept pushing the log forward, and it was splitting into two pieces unexpectedly light. Our third comrade was splitting firewood with a heavy bluish splitter axe on a long yellow handle. He split the thick logs from the edges, and the thinner he split with a single blow. His blows were weak. Our comrade was as hungry as we were, but the frozen larch splits easily. Nature in the north is not indifferent, not apathetic. It conspired with those who sent us here. We finished work, stacked the firewood, and waited for our convoy to come. We did have a guard. He was warming himself in the building we were cutting firewood for, but we were expected to return home in full force. The whole brigade, broken up into small groups around town. Having finished work, we didn't go to warm up. We long since noticed a large pile of garbage near the fence, a matter that couldn't be neglected. Both my comrades deftly and habitually examined the pile, peeling away the frozen layers one by one. Pieces of frozen bread, a frozen lump of cutlets, and torn men's socks were their findings. The most valuable, of course, were the socks, and I regretted not having been the one to get this find. Socks, scarves, gloves, shirts, and civilian trousers. They were highly prized among people who had been wearing only official government-issued clothing for decades. Socks could be mended, patched, and that would be tobacco, that would be bread. My comrade's success haunted me. I also was breaking off colorful chunks from the trash heap with my feet and hands. Pushing aside a rag that looked like human intestines, I saw for the first time in many years a gray school notebook. It was an ordinary school notebook, a child's drawing notebook. Every page was covered in paint, diligent and thorough. I turned over the papers crispy in the cold, the frost-covered bright and cold nave sheets. And I drew too, a long time ago, sitting beside the 7-line kerosene lamp on the dining room table. At the touch of magic brushes, the dead hero of the fairy tale came to life, as if sprinkled with living water. Watercolors resembling women's buttons was in a white tin box. Ivan Tsarevich rode a gray wolf through a fir forest. The fir trees were smaller than a gray wolf. Ivan Tsarevich sat astride the wolf the way the Ivangs ride reindeers. His heels were almost touching the moss. Smoke rose as a spring-like line into the sky, and birds like crossed-out check marks were visible in the blue starry sky. And the more I recalled my childhood, the more clearly I understood that my childhood would never be repeated, that I wouldn't find even a shadow of it in someone else's childish notebook. It was a serious notebook. The northern city was wooden. The fences and walls of houses were painted with light ochre, and little brush of the young artist honestly repeated that yellow color wherever the boy wanted to talk about street buildings, about the work of human hands. There were many fences in the notebook. People and houses in almost every drawing were surrounded by neat yellow fences, entwined with black lines of barbed wire. Iron threads of official government-issued design covered every fence in the child's notebook. People stood near the fence. People at the drawings were not peasants, workers, or hunters. They were soldiers, guards, and sentries with rifles. The mushroom-shaped rain cabins, around which the young artist had disposed the guards and sentries, stood at the foot of enormous guard towers. Soldiers walked in the towers. Rifle barrels were gleaming. The notebook wasn't large, but the boy managed to draw all the seasons of his hometown in it. The earth a monochromatic green, like in the paintings of early Matisse, and the sky was a deep, crisp, clear and azure blue. The sunsets and sunrises were a rich crimson, and that wasn't a childish inability to find half-tones, color transitions, or uncover the secrets of chiaroscuro. The color combinations in the school notebook were a true image of the far northern sky, which colors are unusually pure and clear, without half-tones. I recalled an old northern legend about a god who was still a child when he created the taiga. The colors were few, the colors were childishly pure, the drawings simple and clear, their subjects uncomplicated. Later, when the god grew up, became an adult, he learned how to carve intricate patterns in foliage and invented a multitude of colorful birds. The god grew tired of the childish world, and he covered his taiga creation with snow and departed to south forever. So told the legend. And in his winter drawings, the child was right. The greenery disappeared. The trees were black and bare. These were Dorian larches, not the pines and firs of my childhood. A northern hunt was in progress. A sharp-toothed German shepherd tugged at the leash held by Ivan Tsarevich. Ivan Tsarevich wore a military-style winter fur cap with ear flaps, ushanka, a white sheepskin coat, felt boots, and deep mittens, or gauntlets, kragas, as they are called in the far north. An assault rifle slung over Ivan Tsarevich's shoulders. Bare triangular trees were driven into the snow. The child saw nothing, remembered nothing, except yellow houses, barbed wire, watchtowers, German shepherds, guards with machine guns, and a deep, deep blue sky. My comrade peered into the notebook and fingered the pages. "You better look for some newspaper to make cigarettes." He snatched the notebook from my hands, crumpled it, and tossed it to trash. The notebook began to frost over.